What is going on, Nature's Fight Club crew, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I know what you're expecting, a clash of titans, a battle for survival, but today we're pausing the fights to tackle something a little different. A mystery that has puzzled scientists and enthusiasts for decades. We're diving deep into the legend of Sasquatch. So what exactly is a Sasquatch, or as most people call it, Bigfoot? Forget the clumsy, goofy characters you see in cartoons or movies. The creature described by eyewitnesses is something far more imposing and enigmatic. We're talking about a massive, bipedal, ape-like hominid, reportedly standing anywhere from 7 to 10 feet tall, covered in thick, dark hair, and weighing hundreds of pounds. Think of a primate far larger than any known gorilla, walking upright through the dense forests of North America. Its name, Sasquatch, actually comes from the Halkomelem language of First Nations peoples in British Columbia, meaning wild man of the woods. For centuries, indigenous cultures have passed down stories of these giant, hairy beings, treating them not as monsters, but as a natural part of the wilderness, another tribe living just beyond the veil of our modern world. This isn't just campfire folklore. Over the years, there have been thousands of reported encounters, creating a fascinating tapestry of anecdotal evidence. These reports aren't just vague, "I saw something big" stories. People describe hearing unearthly howls and bone-chilling screams that don't match any known animal. They've discovered massive human-like footprints, some measuring up to 24 inches long, pressed deep into the soil. The most famous piece of evidence is, of course, the 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film. This short, grainy footage shows a large, female-looking creature striding across a creek bed in Northern California, turning to look back at the camera before disappearing into the trees. For over 50 years, experts have debated its authenticity. Some call it the best proof we have, pointing to the creature's unique gait and muscle movement, which they argue would be nearly impossible for a human in a suit to replicate at the time. Others remain convinced it's an elaborate hoax. The scientific community has largely remained skeptical, and for good reason. The core of science is physical, testable evidence. Despite all the footprints and blurry photos, we have no body, no bones, no undisputed DNA, no type specimen, as biologists would call it. However, some researchers have taken the subject seriously. Dr. Jeff Meldrum, a professor of anatomy and anthropology, has dedicated much of his career to studying the hundreds of footprint casts he's collected. He argues that the anatomical consistency and details found in many of these casts, like a flexible midfoot, unlike a rigid human arch, point to a real biological creature. There have also been attempts to analyze hair and scat samples found at alleged sighting locations. While most have been identified as belonging to known animals like bears, elk, or even humans, a few samples have yielded unidentified primate DNA. However, these results are often contested and could be due to contamination. So, where are people seeing these creatures? The hotspots for Sasquatch sightings are concentrated in the Pacific Northwest. States like Washington, Oregon, and Northern California are the traditional heartland of Bigfoot country, with their vast, dense, and largely unexplored temperate rainforests. But sightings aren't limited to that region. Reports have come from all over North America, from the swamps of Florida, where they call it the skunk ape, to the forests of the Ohio River Valley. Basically, anywhere with extensive woodlands and a low human population density seems to be a potential habitat. These areas provide the three things a large primate would need to survive: ample food sources, water, and most importantly, cover. The sheer scale of these wilderness areas is mind-boggling. We're talking about millions upon millions of acres of rugged, inaccessible terrain. This brings us to the big question: if Sasquatch is real, why haven't we found one? Why don't we have a body? This is the single biggest argument against their existence, and it's a powerful one. But there are several plausible explanations to consider. First, think about their potential population size. If they exist, they are likely a very rare, endangered species. Their numbers would be incredibly low, spread out over a massive territory. Finding any rare and elusive animal is difficult. Finding one that may be as intelligent as a great ape and actively avoids humans would be exponentially harder. We know gorillas and chimpanzees are incredibly smart, and a creature like Sasquatch would likely possess a deep, instinctual understanding of its environment, making it a master of stealth. Furthermore, consider the environment itself. The forests of the Pacific Northwest are dense and unforgiving. If a Sasquatch were to die of natural causes, its body would be quickly reclaimed by nature. Scavengers, insects, and the damp forest floor would break down the remains in a matter of weeks or months, leaving little to nothing behind. Finding a fossil is even less likely, as forest environments are notoriously poor for fossilization. Unlike a dry desert or a tar pit, the acidic, moist soil of a forest is terrible at preserving bones. Think about it. Millions of bears have lived and died in these same forests for thousands of years, yet it's exceptionally rare to just stumble upon a bear skeleton. Then there's the possibility that Sasquatch is not just an animal, but a highly intelligent hominid. If they possess intelligence comparable to or greater than other great apes, they would be incredibly adept at avoiding us. They would recognize the threat that humans pose and use their knowledge of the terrain to stay hidden. Some eyewitnesses even report a sense of being watched, a feeling of unease that suggests a creature aware of their presence long before they are spotted. This isn't just a big, dumb beast. This is potentially a thinking, feeling being that wants to be left alone. It's a humbling thought, isn't it? The idea that we might not be the only intelligent hominid walking the earth. So, what's the verdict? Is Sasquatch a relic hominid, a surviving Gigantopithecus, or simply a modern myth fueled by misidentification and folklore? The truth is, we don't know for sure. Without a body, the mystery remains. But the sheer volume of consistent eyewitness reports from credible people, doctors, police officers, teachers, makes you wonder, are they all mistaken? Are they all lying? Or are they catching fleeting glimpses of something real, something that lives just on the edge of our world? It's a fascinating puzzle, blending biology, anthropology, and a healthy dose of mystery. And now I want to turn the question over to you, the Nature's Fight Club community. What do you think? Is Bigfoot out there hiding in the deep woods? Or is it all just a legend? Have you ever had an experience you can't explain while out in the wilderness? A strange sound, a massive footprint, or maybe even a sighting of your own? Please, share your stories and your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one, and I'm genuinely curious to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for joining us on this little detour from our usual battles. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the science and legend of Sasquatch. Don't forget to let us know what topics you'd like us to explore next, or which animal matchups you're dying to see in the ring. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay wild.